Hello Facebook ads people, I'm Konstantinos and this is the Facebook ads breaking news podcast. Hi guys, this is podcast 66 and today we're going to discuss mostly about, we're going to answer mostly your questions. I have some news. Basically at the start of April we had some better results. I can see some resistance on some days, but still it's not compared to the bad month that we had, which was March. Still a lot of drama about it and everything. I told you in the previous podcast my idea about the inflation and all of that. Yesterday I have created also some videos about it, and yesterday also I have created some videos because I'm preparing some content right now which is going to go live during the period that I will have the baby at the house, so that I will not have to do heavy video shootings. I will try to do weekly podcasts. Maybe we're going to miss one or two if something happens. Not something bad. I mean, if I don't have the time, or guys, it's a new thing for me. I don't know how it's going to be, but for sure I'm really excited about it. So we're going to do this together, by Phil and Touch. I will do A/B testing and testing also in my life to see what new pattern we need to follow right now for everyone to be happy, especially the baby. This is the note about April. I think that it's not as bad as March. I can see it on results. On the other hand, I need to say that I see all the time more and more changes on Advanced Plus campaigns. Before we had a button which was added with a 5% testing on the ad account setting, which is actually applying to the Advanced Plus. Then we had some things which are different with the industry, and we had to change from e-commerce to e-commerce and stuff. All of these settings are on ad account. And now in some ad accounts, I have noticed one new thing, which is this print screen. It says Advantage Plus Shopify campaigns, and it has audience segments. It has engaged audience and existing customers. The reason that I'm telling you this is because if you're looking this podcast, you need to go into your ad account settings and you need to check if you have this or the previous one. If you have the previous one, your different custom audiences are already there. But if you have this, they have removed the audiences, so you have to add them all over again. In the engaged audience, you have to add all of your audiences which are all about add to cart, initiate checkout, and all of that, Instagram engagers and stuff, whatever you can add. I don't think you can add Instagram engagers. And then you go to the existing audience where you can add email list from purchases, Shopify audiences with purchases. You can add also people who purchased in your store in the last 180 days and so on. So the people who are existing customers. If you're doing another type of campaign and you have, for example, leads, or you have scheduled events as your final event, the one that you want, then you're going to add this on the existing customers. The event that you want as the last, if you're doing lead gens, for example, the lead event is going to be added on the existing customers. Everything else is going to be on the engaged audience. So this is a new thing. Go check your settings, because if you're going to see this, that means that you have to add all of the custom audiences all over again. Another thing which I would like to discuss before we go into your questions, as always, is this. I do have the feeling that we go towards the period, and I also shooted a video yesterday about the end of the crazy method. Let me tell you what I believe that is going to happen. Now we have unlimited Advanced Plus campaigns, and we have all of these changes all the time, like the one that I mentioned earlier, that they are coming again and again and again. And what's the reason of doing CBO campaigns if we can just do Advantage Plus campaigns? Okay, I would be stupid if I told you that just because I have crazy method and it sounds nice or whatever that may be, that you should use crazy methods when you can do only Advanced Plus campaigns in Trained Pixel ad accounts. Of course, I'm going to use only Advanced Plus campaigns in ad accounts. Another reason is that I have seen that CBO campaigns, first of all, they are not scaling. You cannot scale them by increasing the budget. It's very difficult, especially in the way that we do them with several ad sets. Advanced Plus campaigns are behaving much better to that. Secondly, Advanced Plus campaigns are easier for people and I can easier explain to people how to optimize them. The other thing is that on Advanced Plus campaigns, we do have better stability on bad periods for the same reasons that when you scale a CBO campaign is doing really bad after that, and Advanced Plus campaign is more flexible to that. I have seen that in this bad period on March, the other accounts that they had a mix of CBOs and Advanced Plus, the CBOs didn't perform that well as Advanced Plus campaigns in terms of holding the position and the ROAS that they had. So I think that for trained pixels, we're going to be using only Advanced Plus campaigns and we're just going to scale with other creatives. Easy. Okay, broad targeting, trained pixel, other creatives, that's it. Now, the crazy method is still going to be used, and the CBO in general, okay, not only the crazy method, but the CBO and the crazy method is going to be used only when we are going to have new pixels, untrained accounts, and we will have to do interest targeting initially so that we can be able to train our pixel in the most cost efficient way, because broad targeting is going to be more expensive. Now, Meta is announcing they have already said that the Advanced Plus audience is something that it can help to that direction. And of course, we have interest that they are expanding to broad so that they can bridge the gap between untrained pixels and trained pixels. Perfect, this is also another thing, but over there we're going to do, as you can understand, CBOs, and of course the crazy method is something that we're going to use when we will try to do it faster or try to scale a little bit. So this is how we're going to use it, but the more that the algorithm is becoming better and better and better, the more I think that we're going to stop using CBOs and use only Advanced Plus campaigns, because eventually we will be able to start doing Advanced Plus campaigns with a new pixel without caring the algorithm is going to be that good. The other thing that I want to point out here is that when we talk about interest right now on new pixels, we talk about bigger countries. In smaller countries that they have a small potential reach, like Greece, for example, 6 million people, you can start immediately by doing broad targeting. Most probably you would not have any issues and you won't have to do interests. So I guess that's all about it, but there's another thing that I have noticed in only one ad account that I have right now. In this ad account, I have seen that I created an Advanced Plus campaign, and when I created it, it didn't have the normal setting of having campaign and ad set just combined in one, and below that one ad. It just had another completely traditional campaign, ad set, ad. So I was confused because I thought that I pressed the wrong button, then I did another Advanced Plus, it was exactly the same thing. Then I have seen that it has a budget on the campaign level, like a CBO. And then I duplicated one ad set, and I was able to do 4 ad sets, Advanced Plus campaign, crazy method, basically, because you cannot run anything else. You cannot maybe have different interests and stuff. Now, I want to be honest and tell you that I tested it in this ad account and it didn't work. I didn't like the results. But in this ad account, Advanced Plus campaigns are not working anyway. So this is one thing. Secondly, I don't believe that they make it so that we can do crazy method. I believe that they made it so that we can use different caps, cost caps, into the different ad sets of the Advanced Plus. Is it the end of the crazy method? Maybe it's not going to be, because if we have this there on all other accounts, I'm still going to run crazy method Advanced Plus campaigns, and I'm not just going to run a single one. I will just do it like this for the hot pockets and for everything that we're discussing all of this period. I don't know if it's going to be live on all other accounts. I think that this is a change that is happening right now. And I think that they are testing it across some other accounts in order to see if it's going to work or not. It's not like the other changes that they have been announced that they're going to roll by the end of June. So I think that because I don't see it in many other accounts, I see it only in one, and another person just told me that, just 2 people. I think that it's across some accounts, and maybe we're going to see it in a little bit more, and if it fails, you know, this is how Meta is doing the changes. They do it first on 5% of accounts, 10%, 20%, 25%, 50%, 75%, and along the way they decide if it's going to continue expanding or not and becoming something that goes to all our accounts. The changes that we know that we're going to have anyway is geolocation, targeting, specific targeting for states or different places of the country or whatever you want inside Advanced Plus. It's not announced, but I do believe that we're going to have gender and gender male, female, because I think that this is needed. I haven't seen it yet on any other account, but I think that they're going to do it. And we have also the unlimited Advantage Plus campaigns. The geolocation is something that it was announced. I don't know announced. I have seen it from Meta Rep messages, but I haven't seen the gender one, but they're discussing about it, and I believe that's going to be part of these changes. Now, if part of these changes is to do several ad sets within an Advantage Plus campaign, this is something that most probably would mean that at least we're going to try the crazy method on Advanced Plus, and we will see if it's going to actually work or not. So maybe it's not the end, it's not a goodbye, but if it continues like this and we don't have many ad sets, eventually we're going to use the crazy method only on newer accounts until the pixels and the algorithm is going to become that good that they can start with zero data immediately on broad. Or we're going to say hi, because, you know, using something and not admitting that it's time to let it go, it's also bad. So you have to evolve on the platform, and I will not continue using on my big ad accounts where I'm scaling and stuff, crazy methods and CBO campaigns. I will use Advanced Plus campaigns, better control of budget, less campaigns, less risk of because Advanced Plus optimization, it's easier from CBO optimization, more stable to fluctuations, and you can even scale a little bit if you want Advanced Plus campaigns if they are doing really well. You know, they're better. I think they're better, and it makes sense. It's something that was made later, not right now with all of the AI technology and all of that. That's all. We will see. I just wanted to let you know about this. Let's go to the first question. Hello Konstantinos, do you have experience working with much smaller ad accounts for service-based businesses, 60 USD per day ad spend? Mostly my experience is in e-commerce, but I have worked in several businesses which are service-based or lead gen and so on. It seems the best method for local service-based business is to let Facebook to do most of the optimizations with open targeting and Advantage Plus creative, and utilizing only 3-4 ads per ad set with one lead campaign. Does this structure make sense? It makes total sense. I would enhance it a little bit with a crazy method, you know. In local area you can just use a specific size, and you cannot use interests or something else because it's going to make your audience really small. So I was using always on lead gen campaigns on local area for local businesses, crazy method, and it's working really well. The location has a population of 270k, and the service is fairly niche, car detailing, tinting, ceramic coat, etc. I had this kind of campaigns in the past. I would use the crazy method here to make it a little bit more interesting and optimize my CBO campaigns. Next one. This is really helpful. Thank you so much. I can understand better now. I have a question for Advanced Plus crazy method. So let's say my budget is, imagine that 10 minutes earlier I said that we will stop using the crazy method, and now I proposed to one guy to do crazy method for lead gen, and there's another guy who is asking me about Advanced Plus crazy method, which is basically when you have a good ad inside, you just duplicate it many times. I don't like it so much, okay? I have seen it working, and it's going to be my last resort, but I don't use it a lot. I said this in many comments and many instances that the Advanced Plus crazy method with on the ad level crazy method, it's something that I'm not using a lot because I think that it's cannibalizing a little bit of the ad creative. So same as budget is 200, I have two creatives, let's call it A and B, and the average sales cost is 20. I do crazy method on advanced plus campaign. I need to run 5 creatives A and 5 creatives B. Since it's only focusing on 2 creatives, I just need to keep running it, to keep turning it off until I found the second that performed well out of the 10 ads on that campaign. So he's referring to optimizing with advanced plus. If you have 2 creatives, yes, you can run an advanced plus crazy method with 5 times duplicated inside the creative A, 5 ads creative A, 5 ads creative B. But again, I wouldn't. Sometimes I'm actually regretting. I do regret that I showed you the advanced plus crazy method, because I see here people trying to exploit it. You shouldn't be lazy, you should create other creatives. That's the correct answer over here, instead of trying to just push and push and push with the advanced plus. For example, I told you the other time that the last video that I did with advanced plus crazy method is in one ad account I was using so many creatives, I didn't have any success. My only success was with a catalog, so I did an advanced plus catalog in order to scale a little bit. I do it only if I don't have anything else to do. You should do other creatives. This is not a cheat code or something in order to cut corners, okay? But if you wanna still do it, do it. Just do 5 ads of one creative, 5 ads of the other creative, you will have 10 ads. The point that I want to make here is though that if somebody is asking, then why are you showing it? I'm showing it because there are cases that it can help some people, but I know that there are always going to be people that are just going to try to exploit it. While they shouldn't. The same way that they're exploiting the crazy method. For example, they think that they can take one ad set which is not working and move it to the crazy method and it's going to work. Or they're going to do with one ad set which is working, which has a specific interest and specific creatives, 5 crazy method campaigns just to scale because they're lazy to do other creatives, because they cannot find other creatives. I don't know why, but there is always this exploitation thing, which I'm telling you not to do it, okay? These are extra tools and extra ideas that we have in order to scale a little bit more. The core is not going to change. You're going to need many creatives. You're going to try many different things, not just exploiting the only one thing that worked in your account. Anyway, I'm tired of saying this again and again and again, and people just trying to take the way that I think and the methods and stuff and just be lazier and lazier. Gold content, like always, thanks Konstantinos. I have 2 questions. If I'm using trained pixel for other ad accounts, same product objective, on a new ad account, do I still need to train it, or I can start right away? I see that you're separating the 1% lookalikes into each ad set. Is it better than stacking lookalikes into one ad set and doing crazy method on it? So he's referring to one campaign that I had in a new ad account that I was doing in a CBO campaign, 1% lookalike purchase, 1% lookalike add to cart, in another ad set I was doing 1% view content and so on. The reason that I'm not stacking them is because this was a new ad account, so I started with interest and I'm trying to explore a little bit if lookalikes are working after getting some initial data. If I was sure that the lookalikes are working, I would stack them. I would even go to 10% stacked. But here I'm going step by step with smaller audiences because the pixel is not trained yet. That's the reason that I didn't stack them. Secondly, about the pixel on another account, for sure you can do it. You don't have to train your pixel over again, but you have to understand that there is another aspect to it, which is basically the ad account is also important, and mostly the page. So pure from observation, what I have seen is that, for example, I had another account which was spending a lot of money, and we had there is a hidden spending limit in the other accounts that you cannot see. So there was a hidden spending limit of 60k per day in one account, and it's very obvious when it's happening because you see that it's 60k, it's a round number. When you see round numbers on Facebook, unless if you see last 7 days, for example, which is a new thing, and you spend 100 and you see 700, okay, this is something that's happening. But when you see the daily spend, for example, and you see a round number, something is wrong. It's never going to be 1K exactly, okay? So something is wrong. There is a limit that was hit, something happened. So I was seeing 60K and I said, okay, something happened here, and this happened 2-3 years ago. I didn't know at that point that there are hidden spending limits on other accounts, so I talked with the customer support. They told me yes, yes, there's a hidden spending limit. By the way, it didn't spend the 60K until the end of the day. It just spent them on the pace that I had a budget of 80K that day. It spent them on the pace that it was going to spend 80K, and then it stopped during the evening. So it didn't spend just 60K trying to calculate how to spread it because you have a 60K limit. This is what happened. Then we increased the limit, but in the meanwhile, until we increase it, we ran ads in different ad accounts. And I can tell you that while I was using the same creative, the same pixel, the same page, just in another ad account, which was in the same business manager, I wasn't getting the same results as I was getting into the other campaigns. And I'm not talking initially without training the campaigns. I'm talking even on the long term while I was training the campaigns, and I wasn't getting the same results. So this is how I realized that ad accounts also have quality. The more you spend on another account, the more it's giving you better quality. So I can tell you that maybe you don't have to train the pixel for sure, but maybe you're not going to get the same ROAS because the other accounts also play a major role, and you might have better results in another account that's having more spend because it's giving you better quality traffic. The same happens with pages, but with the pages it's very clear because you can see the score. On other accounts you cannot know if you have a good or bad account. You just run ads. Hi Konstantinos, may I ask what post ID means exactly? Yeah, you mentioned it a few times. Also, I started a CBO campaign with a low budget of 30, and let's say it goes well. If I want to scale and double the budget with a crazy method, after how many days should I do it? After 7 or 10 days is good. You have to, first of all, you have to see if in the campaign you're having any ad set or any ad or whatever that is doing really well. And by that I mean that's getting good ROAS, but it's getting also volume. Okay, if it's not getting volume, then you should not run it with crazy method. For example, you have one random sale for 5 ROAS. We don't care about that. But if it's getting good ROAS and it's getting also volume, I think that this is something that you can move to the crazy method. And I don't think that 10 days are enough. It's something that needs to work for 15 days, 20 days in order to move it to the crazy method. Post ID is when you're running ads, the ads are being published through your page, so they're considered posts. Okay, posts are not only the things that you're posting on your page. The posts are also your ads because they are starting from your ad account, from your ads, and they're being posted in the page, and then through the page they're being used in order for you to advertise, so that you can advertise. So this is a post ID. Every ad that you are posting, it becomes a post, and it has its own unique ID that if you find, if it has, for example, 5, 6, 10 comments and 3 likes and all of that, if you find this post ID, then you can use it as a post ID in the next ad so that you're not going to lose engagement. That's the whole way of thinking. Hi, after these 2 bad months, I have decided to start with a very low budget. I could have, since a campaign, 3 ad sets, 3 creatives inside, 1 interest each ad set with a budget of 30. So the reason that I'm having this comment here is this. You have to understand that, and I know if Serena is going to watch this, but for the people that they are loyal and they are watching also the podcast, you have to understand that you cannot ask me this kind of questions, because when it comes to that, what kind of ad account? Does it have it in a pixel? In which country? what is your average cost per purchase over here in order to see if 30 is good and all of that. You cannot just ask this kind of questions. Okay, and I do understand that you're not experienced and all of that, but you need to understand that you cannot just by throwing a question solve all of your problems on Facebook ads. I think that the best thing that you can do is watch all of my videos, other channels, and watch videos there. Buy a course, not mine, buy another course, buy a Udemy course, a cheaper one. No, Udemy courses are just going to show you basic things. If you know how to navigate on the ads manager, it does make sense. But go through the process of learning more. Book a consulting call with some people just to gather 50 questions and go in a consulting call. These are the things that are going to help you. Now, just coming like this and asking, it's not going to help you. You need to go through the process of watching many videos in order to learn, and of course experiment on your own. But doing this kind of questions, it's something that it's impossible for me to answer. Next one, not going to lie, end of March was definitely turbulence to the max. We took your advice to hold on and adjust slightly. April started out strong for us. Up to now, our CPMs have dropped 10 to 15% and CPA dropped dramatically to 30%. Less advertisers, less ads, our own doing, sure. Instead of fighting the system, we sort of embraced it and made incremental adjustments at times and larger adjustments at other times to campaigns, and whatever happened, noted it and recorded any trends. For us, time was the key factor in our changes, giving each change a bit more time that we used to prove it worked for the better. Say 6-7 days to conclude rather than 3-4 days. I found myself earlier blaming Facebook for issues we were experiencing, but in those wild waters, I believe you can find an edge in your market if you stay objective and test and transform to the market at the point in time. I totally agree with him. This is what I have done also, and I have created yesterday also videos that are going to go live into my channel about how by staying, in the ad accounts that I could, by doing 0 changes, I overcome a bad period without any problem. Okay, but I do understand that some of you are not going to be able to afford it, so I guess life is not fair, But over here in this message, we can see that by doing small adjustments, lowering a little bit the spend, having a structure of not having only one campaign, which you won't know what to do, having also over there a little bit of patience, understanding that it's a bad period and you have to be more flexible, you're going to have much better results instead of start touching everything and ruining your whole progress on the ad account that you might not be able to recover. Hi Konstantinos, I have been taking a lot of notes from Advanced Plus videos because they seem to be the future. They are. I have made some notes from your videos regarding scaling and optimizing Advanced Plus. Kindly see them and let me know if I'm missing anything. Sorry, it's a bit long. I worked very hard and want to be sure if something is missing from them. Kindly see to it. So we have some notes over here. New e-commerce pixels are difficult to scale. Not only to scale, are difficult also for results sometimes. Only try Advanced Plus with trained pixels or counters with small population like Greece. That's true. Close failing leading ad in your Advanced Plus campaign. Also change budget accordingly. Or if you want the campaign to optimize more, especially if it's in the starting days, don't change the budget. We change the budget only when we want to either slow down the optimization process and we don't have trust to the other ads, or we want to stop the optimization process and we say, okay, these are the 2 ads that we're going to keep. They spend X amount of money. We're going to keep only those 2. Now let's campaign keeping the failing leading ad. If leading ad fails again, optimize. Close failing leading ad. Relaunch another campaign, this time without the failing leading ad. I guess he is referring to... So Advanced Plus campaigns are working with leading ads. So if a leading ad is failing, you just abandon it. Then you don't just try again to see if it's going to work or not. I guess in the way that he is talking about it, he's referring to the fact that if we have one campaign which is working with a leading ad, then we duplicate it and we run it without the leading ad in order for us to test also the other creatives. Advanced Plus focus on leader. It's not taking best creative ever if leader ROAS are acceptable. Advanced Plus just sees what worked initially, so it isn't good for other creatives. I don't think that this is true. Advanced Plus does focus on a leader ad. It doesn't mean that it's the best creative. That's true. Maybe it's another one that's the best, but it focuses for some reasons on something. I guess so it isn't good for other creatives. He means that you should not mix videos with images, I guess, inside. Anyway, make a new campaign of Advanced Plus with losing creatives. Work great in a case. Run image with images and video with video in Advanced Plus campaigns. Campaign only image ads in the other only videos. That's true. Run catalog ads separately. That's true because they tend to take all the budget. Don't add new ads in running campaigns. That's true. The budget has already been distributed and you can run another campaign to test more things. If 3-4 days your leading ad is not winning, so close it so other ad can win. Remember to lower budget as we did for CBO save campaigns. You don't have to necessarily slow the budget if you have enough ads inside. If you don't have enough, maybe you have to. Do Advanced Plus Crazy Method, Advanced Plus Crazy Method catalog. You don't have to. You can try it if you don't have other creatives. Use post IDs, they are great. Yes, post IDs are working really well into ads on Advanced Plus. Also don't increase budgets in mature and working Advanced Plus or ROAS drop usually. Rather have another campaign that will help maintain good ROAS. That's true also. Let's move to the next one. Hey Konstantinos, a question about optimizing Crazy Method. I understand the need to close low performing ad sets and take a lot of spend. However, I noticed there are ad sets in it, maybe 5 or 6 out of the 10 ad sets, for example, that are not taking any spend at all, from 30 cents to $3 over the last 7 days. Should those be closed as well? Does it matter? Does it matter those are closed or not? Thank you. So lately, guys, I'm noticing a behavior which wasn't here on the CBO campaigns. Back in the day when you were optimizing an ad set and you were having some good results, the leading ad set was remaining leading forever. Now I'm seeing across several campaigns that we can have a shift on the leading ad, and maybe one ad which was taking less budget in 2-3 days take enough budget to become the leading ad. Most of the time when this is happening, it's happening because the other ad is performing better. But there are times that it's happening and it's ruining the whole campaign. So you have to be careful also, not only after you optimize, not only on the leading ad, but if you have several ad sets inside that are left, instead of watching the average, you need to, of the last 7 days only, you need to watch also the last 2-3 days in order to see if any of these ads is starting taking budget without being profitable, and it's trying to become the leading ad. This is a new behavior that I have seen, and maybe you have to also notice it. It's a little bit, I know that what I say is a little bit of complex, but the people who are trained really well with CBO optimization, they're going to understand it. Now, for that reason, and only for that reason, because I'm afraid of other ads now, back in the day, I was going to leave them without touching them, these small ones, because also, if I don't have the actual results that I want, they are giving me space in order to close an ad set and just let another ad set take budget. So I have the room for more optimization. Now, if you're happy with the 2 or 3 ad sets that you have and they're good, and the other ones are just taking a small budget, I would close them because of the behavior that I analyzed earlier. But back in the day, I wouldn't close them. I would just leave them because it wouldn't make any difference. Now, any ad set or any ad in Advanced Plus campaigns, they can take a budget out of nowhere and become the leading ad. Back in the day, the leading ad was always the one that you started. It was staying the leading ad. Now we have this strange behavior, so I'm monitoring it closely and I'm adjusting a little bit my strategies on that. This is the end of the first part of the Facebook Ads Breaking News podcast. If you don't want to miss the second half of the podcast, where I'm answering all the remaining questions of the week, visit my Patreon page following the link on the description. This was the Facebook Ads Breaking News podcast. Like it or not, it is what it is.